So in today's video, I want to talk about the key differences between being alone and being lonely. I've done some reflecting back on my life. I just have wrapped up my master's degree. On paper, it seems like I have it all together, but I still feel alone. Alone because I don't have a significant other in my life at this point. I've had relationships in the past that didn't work out, had girlfriends that didn't work out. And, I am the type of person that enjoys having social interaction, but I also like my alone time to myself where, I can just do things by myself, and not be interrupted. Um, but like any other human being, like I seek to have that other person in my life to do some of these things with, to do some of these activities with. Um, and it just seems like right now I have everything put together, but I'm just missing that puzzle piece in my life to find that person that fits the puzzle and just complements my life at this point. So, like that's being alone, right? Like I don't have someone else that's a dependent on me or that I can depend on that is a partner of mine. And I guess that is a choice that is being made, right? Like that's a choice that's ultimately being made by me at this point in time. Like I've kind of isolated myself away from the dating apps. I think that they're really toxic and it's just not good for my mental health and I can't stand it anymore. I've gone on a lot of dates with women on there. I've had a lot of relationships with women on there, but the quality and the amount of time that you have to spend to get a person on a date in person is just it's just crazy to me. I've also really removed myself from Instagram, social media, like in a sense where I've deactivated my accounts on Instagram. I don't post on Facebook. I just have Facebook really for family and Facebook Marketplace. And I really just use X, formerly Twitter, as a news feed for things that I'm interested in, like Bloomberg and Wall Street Journal and all that stuff. And not having those mediums really cuts off two really viable ways of meeting people, right? Like in today's age, the modern dating scene, you go to these platforms, social media, dating apps, to meet people, right? And to hopefully get a relationship. And then really there's two other ways you can go about meeting people, which is cold approaching, which is something I've been trying to work on, but it is very hard to do. I was at a bar yesterday actually, and there was a girl standing there, me and my friend, one of my really good friends, and he was like, "Oh, you should say something to her." Um, I think it was about like drinks or something. I was like, I was like, I was like, "Yeah, you should order your drinks, and then we can order behind you because usually the pretty girls are the ones who get service first." And she laughed and she took it as a compliment, and then we chatted a little bit, and then she was with a other group of people, and it looked like she had a boyfriend, so I didn't really want to pursue that more than I should have. Um, But, sometimes having a friend there to kind of push you to like say something helps out a lot as well. So that's one approach, right? Like cold approaching is a way you can go about it. And then the second one here is really just social circles. And um, most of my friends, we don't have, their friends are either taken or um, not really interested in them. Um, I'm looking for a specific type of person, and it's like finding a needle in a haystack sometimes. And it's tough. It's really tough. I'm 31, going on 32 in October. And like I said, I've accomplished a lot in my life. I've have, everything going for me. Um, I'm pretty much, the 90th decile. Like I'm doing very well for my age, I would say. Like really good job, own my condo, paid off car, no debt, a lot of investments, like, everything, all my ducks are in a row, right? Because that's what I've been focusing on in my life. Um, because I haven't had a family, right? Or a girlfriend for 10 plus years, right? Like had girlfriends for 3 to 4 years, right? Like my longest one was 3 or 4 years roughly. We were talking for a year prior, so about 4 years, I would say. Um, and when you end up having that person, that family, like that becomes your priority. Like you become second to all of that for the most part. So like my life, I've just been focusing on accomplishments. Like what's my next thing? And I've talked about this in prior videos on my channel, but like what is my next move? What am I doing next? Like what's the next stage here? And now that I've wrapped up my master's degree, which is an incredible accomplishment for me, coming from someone who despised high school and didn't really do that well, on the verge of probably failing out of high school because I just didn't enjoy it. And I got caught up in partying and friends and all that, like getting in trouble and then, graduating and then figuring it all out and going back to college after working. And like I have a whole video on this on my channel. I've talked about, it's just crazy, how life can change. Like thinking back when I was 16, like if I was to ever think that I would be where I'm at in life right now, I would have told you you're absolutely nuts. Like you're out of your mind. Like that's crazy. So like, I don't know, man. I feel like there was something missing. Is a void, right? Money makes things better for sure, but it only can do so much, right? Like once all your basic needs are met, having more money does not correlate to more happiness. Sure, it can relieve a lot of stress out of your life. You don't have to worry about going to the grocery store and looking at the bill. Like I can just go and buy whatever I want. I don't look at the price of anything because I have the money, right? But your baseline happiness really just stays the same. Like it might fluctuate just a little bit up and down depending on different achievements and things you're doing in your life, right? It can go up or down, but you really return to that baseline happiness. So like what is next, right? Like, you know, next part, right? Like is like, okay, you find a significant other, find a girlfriend, get married, have kids, go that whole traditional route. But then are you just back to square? Am I just back to square one where I'm at right now? Just like you know, like what's the next thing, right? Like I just always feel like there's something missing, right? There's something there that isn't completely like I'm happy, right? Like I am happy, like I have a great life, like very fortunate for everything, but sometimes you just feel like you're missing something. And even when I was in a relationship, like I don't know, I think I was happier not in a relationship. Like there was a lot of stress that came with that, like fighting, having to put your significant other before you, and like decision making, and like if she doesn't want to do it, like you compromise, like so like I'm alone for sure, definitely alone. But am I lonely? No, I'm not lonely because I have a really big friend group. We do a lot of things together. I'm doing 3 trips this year, right? I'm going to Glacier. I'm going to Glacier National Park. I'm going to Yosemite National Park, and then I'm going to Turks and Caicos, and then I'm doing obviously a bunch of other stuff like on the weekends, and like I got weddings to go to, and like yeah, like my life is filled with events, and I'm doing things all the time. Like every weekend I have stuff planned, so I'm not lonely. Like have an abundance of friends, which I'm very grateful for. Have a lot of family, really close with my parents. I'm just alone. You know, and it's really intimidating. Like you see really good looking, like people you're attracted to, and to go up and strike a conversation out of the blue is like the cold approaching route is it's intimidating, man. Like it has to be like a right spot, right time. Like you can go obviously go shoot your shot, like but out of 10 girls that you talk to, like out of those 10, how many of those might you be actually interested in pursuing after you talk to them? Like what common interests do you have? Do you get rejected, right? So, you know, that whittles down from like out of those 10, what, maybe 2 or 3, maybe accept. Then out of those 2 or 3, maybe one of them you're interested in pursuing more. Just tough to, you know, it's just tough nowadays. It really is. So yeah, it's just some thoughts here on the being alone versus, you know, loneliness. Being alone versus lonely. It's 2 different things, but definitely interconnected. Curious to hear your thoughts on this, right? If you have any, like, how are you guys feeling, right? Like, how is your life? I'd be very curious if you just leave a comment down below. Like, yeah, I'm curious to hear other guys' situations, like where you guys are at. Like, how do you feel? Like, do you resonate with anything I'm talking about here? Am I alone in how I'm feeling? I hope not. You know, how's the dating scene for you guys? Have you tried cold approaching? How has that worked out? Like, curious to hear your thoughts on that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.